what is up everyone? How's it going? And welcome back to Get Jacked here in Ark Survival Evolved. Now, as you can see, we're going to be doing another locations video. The support on these has just been so crazy, and I appreciate it a ton. So if you've been liking the videos, supporting that kind of content, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. So, anyway, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be checking out the new redwood forest here in the center. Now, this is a huge update. I didn't realize how large this area they added on here was until I actually got out here and started exploring it. Now, the center is just in general larger than the Ark. Now they've added, it's like a whole nother, I don't know, look at this. Okay, this whole lower part, we are on the waterfall that used to be the end of the world. Now the whole part on our right is all new, all brand new. It's just this huge landmass. It's not even an island, it's just a whole new landmass. And so to our left is all the old stuff, to our right is the new redwood forest, massive landmass. So we're gonna check out 5 awesome places. Let's get into number 1. Alright, so here we are with number 1. Now, this one's kind of centrally located on the landmass, and I think this spot's really cool. It's number 5 in the countdown. It's pretty basic. Now, I think this is a nice, easy one for you to get to as a new survivor, and I think if you were trying to start out somewhere with a lot of resources, this would be a good spot because you can just raft right up to here. As you can see, we've got a log bridge right there, which is an indestructible piece of terrain that can help you get up to that upper tier of rock. I'll show you that in a second. But see, stuff down here is pretty dangerous, but if you're able to just take, oh crap, we've got ants, get rid of these. Alright, but anyway, if you can take this this tree bridge up to this little platform, you can get as much metal as you need. And if you're a starting out survivor, you can actually just wall off, you know, one area, and this is pretty much untouchable from any dinosaur unless an Argent flies in here or something. I don't know. Oh, how useful, thatch. But this is a good spot. I really like it. It's got a ton of metal. If you don't build up here, you can definitely use this for its resources. Otherwise, like I said, if you're new, you can actually take this all the way up and you're totally safe. Look at how high up you are. No worries. Alright, so let's move on to number 4. Alright, so here we are, number 4. Now this is it's got another tree bridge in it, but there are actually a ton of these all over the forest because they actually filled up all, there's like anywhere you go in this redwood forest, there's something cool going on. So anyway, this is right below one of these huge waterfalls you might see coming from the sky. Now, the tops of those are actually unreachable. You can't go up there. It's above the cap of the sky. But anyway, up here we've got a decent amount, actually a ton of metal, so you could definitely fund everything that you need to build. So down here is where I think I would probably put the base. I think it's a pretty cool spot. I would probably go with something in the center of this lake just to get a little moat going around that, because that's going to have enough foundational support to build a base. And then you've also got all this other stuff. You got a tunnel here, you got a tunnel up top, you've got all that metal, but then you've also got a waterfall coming down as well. So I think this spot's really cool. It is definitely pretty easy to find because just search for one of the 2 lakes that are in the new redwood forest area and you'll find this spot. But anyway, as you can see, you've got a tree bridge, or what should I call these things, just a downed log right there. But we're going through the waterfall, gotta go out. But anyway, we've got this downed log right here that you can go through and actually access another, see that little rock stand right there? Actually put a little maybe tower onto that or something. I could just see a lot of stuff being done with this area, but definitely are gonna need a lot of resources. Alright, so here we are, the very easterly point here in the redwood forest. Now, this place is crazy cool, but if you have friends or someone on the other side of the map, or even on the mainland in the center, this is a flight. This is going to take a very long time for people to get to you. But what you've got going on is this sweet rock ledge that leads up from the water. Now, if you wanted to do like a sea base, or, you know, people do like the island bases on Herbivore Island and whatnot, this is like a really cool version of that, because you've got that cool bridge that you can actually park your boats right up against, and you've got this free, you know, pathway up to here. Now, you've got a ton of resources. If we could just fly up here really quick, you've got a ton of resources to, if you go over to this side, yeah, right over here. So these are going to be all of the metal nodes and crystal nodes that you're going to need probably for a while. Not much for obsidian. It seems like on the center map, the crystal and metal are pretty abundant, but the obsidian is pretty concentrated in certain areas. But anyway, you've got that, you've got all these waterfalls, and then you've got this pretty sweet cave. It's just more of an overhang that goes up to the upper level waterfall with the big monkey statue that you can't actually reach, just like the other side. You can't reach this one either because it's just too high. Don't worry, that's the first thing I tried to go to, and I couldn't get there. But anyway, this is a pretty cool spot. I like the water pen that you could get going on here. Now, let's move on to number 2 in the countdown. I think this next spot is actually really awesome. I think this is a good spot to hide away from people if you really want to be far away from enemies. Alright, so here we are, and just like the last place, I think this would be another good spot to hide for people. It's right on the edge of the map, and it's really far away from everything else as well, but this one's kind of interesting. Now, the normal redwood forest areas, you know, are heavily wooded. They've got the, oh, we need the land. Gotta get a bit of stamina here. But anyway, the other areas are pretty heavily wooded, and they don't have caverns like this. I haven't seen very much of this going on in the redwoods, but what we've got going on, I'm not sure. I'd assume you'd probably take cave damage in here, just to forewarn you. And another warning, everywhere in the redwood forest I've seen Titanosaur. Doesn't seem like there's a spawn limit on those guys. It's pretty crazy. So anyway, you've got this sweet cave, which is actually located in kind of like a ravine. So we've got a ton of resources right here, as you can see, but this is what I'm talking about with the differences in the redwoods. Now, there are a few trees in here, but look at the ravine here. This is insane. I've never seen that before. So it looks like that kind of goes all the way up to the top, and I don't think you could fly over the top of that. So I think you could get some interesting choke points in here, and on a PvP server you might be able to get a pretty hidden base within these caverns, because this is pretty sweet. I really like this. But anyway, this is where you'd probably want to pull all your resources from if building in that other cavern. But this is number 2. Let's move on to number 1 in the countdown. Alright, so here we are at the number 1 spot in the countdown. Now, this spot is definitely amazing. Now, it's kind of in the middle of the redwoods, and as you can see, it's kind of marked by this huge waterfall coming down from the sky. You can't reach that one, like I said before. But anyway, this is what we've got going on. We've got 2 really fast moving rivers, which I've really liked that about the center map, is, you know, they've got these awesome fast rivers which look really cool and are really awesome to build around. So these lead down to this pond down here, which is going to contain, I've seen quite a few beavers in here, so you can definitely get that cementing paste from their dams and whatnot. So we've got a couple ledges down here, some redwood trees, which you can of course build the like tree platforms on, which I would definitely recommend for some of these spots, because you probably come up with some pretty cool stuff. So we've got that going on. We've got another ledge over here. We've got a ledge off to our left. Like, this has got, like I said, a lot going on. It's also got this ledge right here, which has got a tree bridge just going up top. So there is just so much that you could use this for. I don't know. I think I might actually move my base over here because this is a really awesome spot. But that's it. That's going to be the #1 spot for this countdown here in the center. Alright, so there we are. We checked out those spots. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did because I thought they were really awesome. It was hard to choose between where to put them and also just what spots to choose in general because everywhere along this redwood forest area is just amazing. Just graphically it looks really cool as well without really hurting your performance. So I definitely recommend building a base in one of these if you haven't already on like the normal island map. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely smash that thumbs up button. Definitely helps me out here a lot on the channel. And or subscribe for more content if you haven't already. Check out this Titanosaur. There's everywhere. But anyway, you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time.